Come join the murder. Come join the final review of Sons of Anarchy on Fog Entertainment. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. The time is now. It is all over. It is the last time ever. We say goodbye to Sons. We say goodbye to Jax Taylor. And we say goodbye to a masterpiece from Kurt Sutter. But we need more. So, first nine... Abel and Thomas, call it what you want. Give us more, because the Mayans MC wasn't enough.
91 reviews. Here we are for the 92nd review. We started in October 2022. That's a long time ago. We've dropped the ball over the the 2.5 years, but you know what? It's been picked up and we've delivered it. So right here, April 15th, right?
You will remember where you were on this day.
What happened on April 15th?
Where were you when Fog Entertainment uploaded the final review of Sons of Anarchy?
What happened on April 15th, 114 years ago? The Titanic sunk, alright? But here, Fog risen for the depths of hell, and we've delivered Papa's goods.
Papa's goods. And Jax, he also sunk in this episode, similar to Titanic.
Yep. It wasn't a slight graze in the hull, it was a smash. Deed. Good night.
So we start with Jax. He wakes up, he gets ready, puts his clothes on, puts his son's ring on, looks about his house, and he looks like a man that is leaving, potentially for the last time.
Yeah. Adam raised, okay. Big Bruce Springsteen, I believe it sung that one.
Big lefty.
He is a big lefty, but you know what? This is a good song, good opening. Jax basically takes every photograph, every birth certificate. I don't think he burned the birth certificates, but he burns pretty much everything. You know that pathetic father he's got, JT? He burned all his manuscripts, and I don't blame him. I think there needs to be a separate vid on JT.
Yeah, no, definitely we will talk about JT.
My estimation of John Taylor just fucking plummeted, to be honest.
We need a prequel with John Taylor in it. We do.
I need to know exactly what happened.
Yeah, but we see Jax later on speaking to JT on the rock, and he's talking about him, putting him over. You were a great dad, and you know, I wish I could have respected you and all this stuff. I wish I felt this way forever, like through my entirety of like life and whatnot. And he never got sidetracked by Clay and Gemma, because at one point he did kind of resent JT, but at the same time he was burning all the evidence, all the photos of John Taylor, so he doesn't want his sons to know anything about JT. Couldn't have been that much a good grandfather.
Yeah, we'll get to JT at the end of that part. But anyway, Jax burns everything here. Heads to the cemetery. Final goodbyes to Opie and Tara. So if you were thinking that Jax Taylor was going to make it out of this episode alive, I think you were greatly mistaken. He then goes to Red Woody, greets T.O. Sam Crow sit down. They're like, Tyler's left some messages. We'll get Connor later, brother. Then they want to know what happened with the forum. What happened? Because Bordeaux, Parker and the gang, Henchman and Rowe, they're still in town. So what's going to happen with these guys? Jax is like, I'll fill you in later. That's Jax's favourite line this season. Fill me in. You just killed my present. You can't walk away from this. Is Jax going to be walking away? Or is he going to be riding away? But forget about that. It's time for T.O. to ride his wee unicycle into the room and get patched in.
Yeah, Jax wanted some changes, and one of those changes was, we got to allow the black man to be patched in. And you know what? I think this is good that after it comes, basically with the whole Juice thing spiraling out of control and just setting a shitstorm in motion. So... yeah,
everything's happened because of Juicy.
I agree with Jax. This is a good decision, taking the club forward.
No, absolutely. And I tell you what, there is no better first member from the African American community than T.O.
Although it seemed like Jax was going to go down this route anyway, whether the other charters agreed with it or not. He just kind of wanted to get there. It's a charter by charter decision.
And it's a shame that in the Mayans we never got to see T.O. I think it's a really missed opportunity. Maybe the actor Michael Beach was busy, but I think it's something you would want to showcase.
Yeah, listen, you had T.O. and obviously you've got his history and experience with the Grimm Bastards, and obviously the Grimms were in the Mayans, and they were kind of like the peacemakers between Sam Dino and the Mayans. So for me, that made perfect sense that T.O. could have been there. And
I think T.O. beefing with the Grim Bastards and kind of being like what Montez was to the FM would have been good.
Yeah, but we didn't get that.
Because Elgin James couldn't run a bath. So good luck with the Prison Break series that's coming out, which we will be reviewing, by the way, because he's casting half the Mayans in it. But anyway, this is Sons. T.O. gets patched in here. Great scene. I mean, Rat Boy is kind of speak to Darius. It's like, why is Rat Boy, right, whose cut is, very fresh at this stage of the game, why is he speaking down to T.O. like T.O. doesn't have like 20 years on him? It's like a fully patched member. Come on, Rat Boy, really?
Yeah, I don't know who Rat Boy thinks he is, but Rat Boy's patch is still warm, He literally only stuck it on. He's still fresh, still new. He needs to sit down and pipe down. Thinks that he's better than T.O.'s leading the Grim Bastard for 15 years. I didn't really... It's not that he was disrespecting, but I kind of just felt like Rat Boy thinks he's bigger than T.O. or better than T.O. or higher up than T.O.
Well, I get it. It was a bit of banter with his name, right? Tadarius. I totally understand that, folks. But, as you pointed out, I feel like... I mean, I'm not saying I would have accepted one half of Quintez, vice versa to have done this, but... Anyway, we'll move on. T.O. patched in. Now, there's a bit of discussion.
But look at in the past, right? When you had a member calling half sick, or like when you got Tig, when they're about to patch in Rat, and Tig shouts up, "Yo, Rat!" and Rat runs up the stairs
with his wee lollipops
at the sound of Tig calling on him. I don't know. See, having a Rat Boy be the one that is demanding T.O. to come in, it just felt.
What if we called you Sam Crow?
Aye, T.O. gets patched in. Now, a bit of a blooper here, or I don't know if it was supposed to be, but he did have a prospect patch on his lower cut, so...
He did, but Jax points out something that he can wear the patch, but he has to wait 6 months or something before he wears an office. Maybe the office is just a simple fact that is until he can wear Sons of Anarchy California, but he did have the full Reaper, and it was a customised patch. It was... The prospect patch normally doesn't have the Reaper. It's just got the black cut. And it just says prospect. So maybe that's what it is, but it's like Tig made it pretty clear that he didn't want T.O.
He
to
should not be prospecting.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, he's not a prospect. On the back of his cut it says prospect, so he fucking may as well be.
Yeah, if someone can confirm that, if someone can explain that for us, then that would be greatly appreciated.
Go ahead. Nero, he rocks up to Jax's house. Wendy's like, I came in at 4 a.m. last night. Late one. Nero's putting two and two together. Like, what made it so late? Did he drop about 5 people
Where's
last night?
Gemma? Where's Unser?
He then heads to TM.
Unser's no back either.
No.
Did Unser come back at 4 a.m? Unfortunately not.
Chucky's like, I'm not stupid. I know something might happen. He's like, you're not stupid, Chucky. Then he tries to get into Unser's trailer and he's like, he doesn't have a phone in there, man. And Nero's like, I'll figure it out. Opens the door and he's greeted with Unser's heist board. Unser... I thought this was pretty good because you had all these like arrows pointing to who could have possibly killed Tara, but then like bang in the middle was Jax. Now obviously Jax didn't kill Tara, but what is Nero thinking? Nero's thinking that Jax has killed Unser and Gemma, and who's sitting there on the board front and centre? Jax Taylor.
Do you think Unser ever seriously considered Jax to be the killer? Or could that just be? Could that be that Jax leads to all these different possibilities?
No, but I think you've got to look from Unser's perspective. Unser thought Tara made a deal, right? Now, albeit he did later maybe find out that she didn't, and that Jax was going to give himself up. But if you look at like the last couple of episodes of this season, the amount of lies and bullshit that Gemma and Juice fed Unser and Jarry, coinciding with the fact that the Sons were helping Juice inside. And like Chris Dunn was in a different state. It looked like one big clusterfuck. And Unser's like, you've done nothing but tell me lies.
True, but I mean, Jax was hell bent on revenge. Like, why would he be so hell bent on revenge if he'd done it?
True. But I can see why Unser's confused by it. But Nero kind of sits down in Unser's depression cabin here.
See if it was in the first 3 seasons, Unser wouldn't even have called in.
Oh. There would be nothing on the board.
No, it'd just be, I don't know.
Thought we don't shit where we eat, all that good stuff. But right, then we get the typical Sons of Anarchy chase. They chase Connor to Can't Help Falling in Love with You, that wee tune. I feel like they've remixed it quite a lot.
It was a remix or alternative edition or something
like
that, cover. Anyway, Condog gets away, which is not often. People normally don't get away from Sam Crow when they're on bikes, 4-on-1.
Bike hits truck won. Jax later points out, won't be the first time this episode of Truck wins, but 1-0 for now. But yeah, the funny scene with Tig, but Yeah, you know what?
The dolls, yeah, I like the dolls where they're going through the warehouse. And,
Is the chase goofy? But Sons has always done this. This is like a throwback. This is nostalgia purposes.
yeah, it's almost like we need one more.
Aye. This isn't.
I mean, technically, you kind of get one at the end as well, but I think it was just a goodbye sake here.
No, but the one at the end's not goofy.
No,
it's not
no.
done for comedy purposes.
No,
it's
but
done because Jax has killed himself.
I do like Tig just drive into a bunch of fucking dolls and screaming.
But yeah, Connor, he escapes. We'll see what happens with that later on. Jackson summons Chibs to the roof of Redwood. He's like, right, I'm going to tell you some things that you're not going to want to hear, but trust you.
I'm going to have to
trust
fill
me.
you in.
What I want's the best thing for me and my family. Jack's like, okay. He's like, I spoke to Packer and the other presidents. They want a mayhem vote. Jesus Christ,
That's
Jackson.
just not going to happen, bro.
That's not going to happen. What about Quintez? Can we not give them up, Jackie boy? Quinn, Montez, we'll dig up West. We'll pretend he didn't die. We'll fire him in. Jack's like, no, it's not going to happen that way. He says that he wants to charter the foot that way. Says to Chibs, that's what the hardest thing about being a leader is. You do the shit that no one else can do, and you have to do. So you have to do it for the club. And I need to know that you won't job me out on this one. I won't job you out, brother. Tig then comes up with the Irish job squad. Declan's like, right, what's the story here? What's the story? Jack's like, well, we're going to tell Connor that you killed these two and fled. He's like, never going to believe that. Well, actually, no, they killed Declan, the guy. It was actually Hughes, the guy with Connor. So they kill these two, take a picture of them, and they're just disposing fucking bodies here like there's no tomorrow. So Connor, they set this meet up with Connor. That's very good. They then lure Connor to the warehouse and essentially kill Rourke and the other IRA guys because Connor has gave them the information that they need, that he has broke away from the IRA. He's got contacts in Dunglow. He's also got contacts in Armagh. And he's also got contacts in Belfast now, apparently, because Sam Bell, no, that great charter that definitely didn't drop the ball in season 3, they're going to be the boots on the ground in Belfast, and they're going to come through. What do you think of that? Are they?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of faith here being put in Sam Bell. Jax thinks Sam Bell, that they're going to be able to handle what's happening over there. And it's like, I mean, last time we seen Sam Bell, they weren't really in a great place, were they?
No, they weren't. And you know what? I would have liked to have seen a wee bit more of Sam Bell. Could Sam Bell get a spin-off? Yeah, I think we need the first 9 before we get any other spin-offs. But I wouldn't necessarily mind it. So yeah, Chibs tells Connor, I think what you're looking for, Con, is thanks. Thank you, Jackson. Like, Jackson, you just killed an Irish king. No one away from that, brother. Well, JT wanted to do it 20 years ago. I did it now. JT's a shite bag.
Yeah, Mayan said that they will keep Connor and Hugh safe. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, for how long? I mean, the IRA, if they want to get to you, they'll get to you. I fear for Sam Bell. If Sam Bell is helping this operation in Northern Ireland, well, the real IRA is just not going to stand back, are they, and allow this to go ahead when they're losing it on money?
Yeah, I mean,
when it's their guns not being peddled.
It's one thing the Mayans, right, protecting, Connor here in California, but Sam Bell protecting
Connor's crew over there. I mean,
it's not going to happen like that, my
they'll
friend.
make sure the shipments run smoothly. Nothing went smooth when Sam Crow fucking touchdown.
But this sets up Connor and Hugh, right? We should have seen these guys in the mines to some capacity.
Yeah, considering they were running guns for the mines.
And also, like, you've got that whole stuff with Chibs. It's like, oh, the transition out of guns took a wee bit longer, brother. Happy speaking to, like Felipe and Chucky outside of the Santa Padre clubhouse. It's like, it's bit right. See Hugh, right? I'm not going to pretend he's a megastar, but see Connor, he's established. Good scenes with Galen and shit.
I mean, if you can't give us Chibs and Tig, not to give us Connor.
Give us Connor, guys. Give us Connor, right? But I'll tell you who you get. We get Jax and Nero at TM. One of the last scenes we get to see at TM, so let's talk about it. Jax basically says, right, I'll give Wendy the garage, the houses I'll sell. Nero, we can do all this with TM. The money can go towards the club. Here's all the documents. Nero's like, what the fuck, Jax? Why can't you do this? Why am I doing it? He's like, I'm leaving, Nero. And then
I'm going away.
He's like, Gemma? Yeah. And then this is when the penny finally hits for Nero.
He's like, where are you going? When are you coming back?
You know why. All over for Jax. Basically says, right, Nero, when the time comes, you need to tell my sons who I am. I'm a liar, I'm a criminal, I'm a killer. They need to grow up hating the thought of me. Which is a pretty fucking dark thing to say. Nero's arse folds. He starts greeting. Jax is greeting. They're all greeting. Wendy then appears. Nero thinks he's slick by putting his sunglasses on to cover his tears, but there was no tears being covered here. Jax then says goodbye to his kids. Doesn't really matter what me or you say about this. You need to genuinely watch it to feel the emotion, because, I mean, we like having a wee bit of banter, and Jax saying goodbye to his kids because he knows he's going to kill himself is pretty sad.
Yeah, Jax. I mean, that must be tough, like, to say goodbye to them, and that, you know, it's the last time you're going to see them, and you're
especially
going
when he wants them to hate him, to save them.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's
like Thomas probably won't remember, but Abel's definitely going to remember Jax. And you know what, man? See, before Kim Coates and Tommy Flanagan and like Jimmy Smits are too old, we need to get that show, don't we?
No, definitely. I mean, we're running out of time.
Because like we're not talking about like the Job Squad here. We're talking about fucking like great actors in prime fucking roles for that television show. There's money to be made. We're not talking about some wee half-arse production. We're talking about the real McCoy.
Yeah, I mean, even if we can't get a sequel, give us a prequel, give us something. But we do need a spin-off.
Yeah, but yeah, basically not Gemma, she's gone. With Nero and Wendy, they drive off. Nero's like, I'll fill you in later.
It's a lot of filling in going in season 7.
There's a lot of filling in. Jackson kicks his dad's bike, whips out his hand. See you later, Chucky. And Chucky's like, bye. And right, Chucky, last man standing at TM. Who'd have thought it?
The man, the hands in the pants man. Nobody thought this guy had long, but there you go. Outliving, outlasting everyone else. What a guy. Chucky making it right to the end.
When Clay said, I'm going to throw you in the closet if I see your hands in your pants one more time in season 1, who would have thought this guy would have fucking walked out on top at TM?
Yeah, that's the safest place to be in Sons of Anarchy, hiding in the fucking closet. I worked for Taza, he survived to then.
I fucking did.
So, Jax...
Yeah, maybe if Fetal wore the Sam Crow lever, he'd have survived.
Absolutely. Jax then goes and pays Patterson a visit. He fills her in, reveals what happened with the murder of Tara. Says that it was his mother, and that her and Juice lied about the Chinese, and that basically
set me on fire.
You know, that put that shitstorm in motion.
Unsur and Gemma, they're up in Oregon. Grandfather's house, here's the address.
Alright, there you go pick them up. Then when she wants to know more about the Chinese and the potential blowback and what this is going to mean on the streets, Jax is like, turn that shit off. So obviously he's not going to... He's willing to admit what he's done and admit what happened to Tara, but he's not going to give up retaliation and stuff that would affect the club and people on the streets.
What happens at the end of the day? Bad guys lose. So who's going to lose at the end of the day? Have to wait and see. We see Tig and Chibs. He's like, are we really doing this, brother? I need you, Tiggy! I need you! Don't need you banging Van Damme. I need you right here, right now. The whole effing show.
Yeah, so we have a vote. All in favour. Jackson Taylor meeting Mr. Mayhem.
Our hearts cannot be louder than our reason. Quintess.
Yeah. Tig gives Rat Boy and the nod of approval. It's alright, you're allowed to say yeah.
It's funny if you compare the Mayhem vote to Clay and Jax. Chibs is like, I'm not buying this fucking all for the good of the club bullshit. He's done.
Yeah. Tig then says, yeah, Happy was upset about this. Happy was not so happy here. He
was sad.
He says, yeah, and then Chibs swallows his pride and he's like, yeah.
It was the most clear answer he's given one of these votes. Usually it's an aye or a yay. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Jax. Jax is a goner, so
gavel slams down, bang bang, good night.
Yeah, we then see
Jax's killing spree.
So Jax takes out Charlie Borowski, aka Stan Liddy for Dexter.
The cameraman.
Oh hey, handsome Jack.
If only had that camera to spot him.
Yeah,
he might have fucking been able to live.
Yeah, look, Borowski did betray them. Although I just feel like under normal circumstances, though, they would. I I think that you'd maybe wanted answers or something, but I mean, Jax, I guess he's beyond answers.
Yeah, like,
what explanation?
if Jax is killing himself in 20
what
minutes...
could Borowski possibly say that's just going to have Jax thinking, oh, hold on here a minute, I could maybe use you or something?
Yeah.
Nah, Charlie Borowski was as dead as a dodo.
Look who it is, handsome Jack. Good night.
So he's dead. We then see August Marks. Well, first we get Jax and the homeless woman, who doesn't even exist, I don't think, but Jax sees her. She gives him a wee blanket. Then
Wee bit of bread, wee bit of wine.
Jax pretends he's homeless. August Marks.
Good visual, the Grim Reaper there.
Yeah, August Marks gets out, and Jax then basically just hides underneath this like towel or this, what do you call it? Okay,
Blanket.
Aye, blanket. That's the one. Blanket.
What do you call it?
Then jumps out. Surprise, motherfucker! And shoots August Marks, kills him. That takes care of Marks, and it looks like everyone is now free for him. The Mayans, Black, Sons. Nobody needs to worry about the August Marks retaliation.
What if someone was like the August Marks the Pope, but they were to August?
True.
But I guess at this point, everyone's kind of been... Well, I mean, I think... Would Moses have been that?
Yeah, but there will always be a step. I don't know. August Marks Enterprises. I don't know how far down the ladder you need to go, but there's always somebody else willing to step up, isn't there?
No, absolutely. But here, Borowski, Marks, Deed, Jack stood on business here.
And yeah, like when they killed Moses, I mean, surely that wasn't it. That wasn't the entire fucking crew. You would assume that Marks would have other people.
I guess they had East Dub working for them, and they thought they had the Niners. The Niners have completely broken away, which is a lot of manpower at the end of the day. But anyway, August Marks is dead. I liked August Marks. I just would have liked to have seen him a bit more in season 7. He didn't appear as much as I thought he would.
Well, you'll be seeing him very soon in Dexter.
Oh yes. Not playing August Marks, so is he?
No, he's not, no.
Has he got a fucking camera the same size as Stan Liddy's?
No. Fuck, it'll be a race. There's all these Sons of Anarchy / Mayans coming to Dexter soon. Women hooded suck. It'll be a race to get on the TV screen first.
Anyway, Jax,
who's going to pop up.
He's at the...
It's like the Forbidden Door, Dexter and Sons of Anarchy.
Here, I tell you what. Would there not be money to make in a TV show if it did simply what ifs? And it was just they went across like all the best TV shows and like changed endings and like scenes and like, oh, what if this happened? I know it'd be impossible because some stuff was like 20 years ago, but
seems more like fairy fids on YouTube rather than
it
TV
does,
shows, doesn't it?
Who likes a good fairy?
We all like a good fairy. Anyway, Jax goes back to the club and they're getting ready to. Well, he has to give away his patch first. He gives up the president patch, gives it to Chibs, which I think was a no-brainer. I don't think Chibs is automatically entitled to it just because he's a VP. As far as I'm aware, the president could...
Well, let's validate who could it be, right? Tig... I think Tig could... We'll put it this way, right? I think he's second favourite.
I think Tig's the only guy there capable, other than Chibs.
Yeah, because... Yeah, I would agree. I mean... Happy is probably third by default, right?
Well, Quinn, you like to put over him being a former...
No, but do you not think the Sam Crow president, because of the Mother Charter, Redwood needs to have something about... I think there's a fucking case that T.O.'s for. And he's walked in the door about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think T.O. would be a good shout.
Yeah.
I think I'd put T.O. above Happy.
I'd put Happy above T.O.
Who do you put? Who would be
based off the current timeline? It's got to be.
Who would be last, Montez or like Rat Boy?
I'd say Rat Boy, because well, I mean Montez has went on to prove he's road captain material. Montez was road captain. What's Rat Boy?
Nothing.
Point is, right. I think of Jax. I think if the president patch or the VP patch goes to anyone outside of Tig, Happy, and Chibs, I think Jax postpones his fucking death here and remains president for a few more days at least till they can patch in people fucking capable of wearing the Reaper or the patch, brother. But yeah, they say their goodbyes, kind of half goodbyes. They line Jax up and they shoot Happy. Now some people would argue here, well, why do they need to shoot Happy? But the whole gimmick is, I don't want to lay this on you, brother.
Yeah, I guess
they need to make it realistic.
Yeah, if they just say, "Oh, Jax escaped," that maybe would look a bit phony.
He shot at us, but he didn't hit us. you know, he shot Happy, and fair play to Happy.
But it does kind of make Jax look a bit like a traitor, rat. But I guess he doesn't care as long as he's set his family up and he's set his club up. I don't think he really cares about how his legacy looks. To be honest, you could argue season 7's just ruined his legacy. Anyway, he's killed Jury. He's not.
Yep.
I mean,
he killed a lot of innocents.
I mean, the reason
a lot of people killed.
The reason he's getting a Mr. Mayhem vote against him is because he killed Jury. So, is him shooting Juice and making a run? Is that really going to do much more to damaging to his reputation?
Like we said during the episode, I think if Chibs goes to Packer and says, like, here, we didn't want it to land on us, and we agreed that we would let him end it on his own terms. I don't think Packer's going to be pissed at that. Now, Indian Hills, I could see why they'd be pissed, but it's like, well, did Jury get to end it on his own fucking terms? You know, of course he didn't. He got fucking dropped in a field in Pennsylvania. It wasn't Pennsylvania, that was a plane, September 11th. But anyway, moving back to this, Jax says goodbye to everybody. He says it was a nice choice, good choice, giving it to Tig. I believe he started at Montez, then it was Quinn, then it was Ratboy. He kissed Happy on the dome. He then hugged Tig. Didn't really hear what Tig and Jax said. Did you hear what they said? It was kind of inaudible, but I think that's just between the actors almost.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Then he hugged Chibs. I love you, brother. I think he said a baby brother. And then he gets on his bike, the American flag waving, I am a real American. I got this. And then Tig grabs Chibs' shoulder. Oh, Opie said that. Quintez have no idea what's going on with that I got this line. Absolutely not. And then Jax rides off into the sunset. They watch him disappear in the distance. And then Chibs kind of turns around, inspects his charter, and's like, holy fuck, what happened to this table?
The table there's not much. It needs a bit fleshing out, doesn't it?
No, it does. It does need a wee bit fleshing out. And like we've said, people need it to die.
We never got T.O. at a table. I mean, he was at the table at the end of the montage.
That was the bar table, though.
Was it? Oh, well.
There was only one guy at the table at the end. It was Chibs.
It's just kind of sad that we never got to actually see T.O. get a vote or get anything meaningful on camera.
Did T.O. deserve to vote on Jax meeting Mr. Mayhem? I'm going to say no, because he's literally just in the door.
But I disagree. If you're in, you're in. Here, the free transfers in season 5 were just in, and they were allowed to vote from Clay's direction.
Yeah, but they were like fully patched members, weren't they? As Jax says.
Hold on, T.O. done 15 years.
I did 20 fucking years. Well, 15 years, not quite 20, but JT's did 20, and Jax pays a visit to JT one last time. He's like, I know who you are and what you did. I love you, Dad. Right, let's just break this down. He's like, my boys won't know this life of chaos. What did JT really do to prevent his boys from knowing this life of chaos? All right, Thomas was dead. I'll accept that. Jax. Now, what you could say
he did try and steer the club in a better direction than Clay and Gemma.
Yeah, but then he killed himself.
True.
Yo, I think the very best I can give JT is he wrote the manuscript for Jax to find and to fix it himself. But JT has essentially caused all this. By being weak. Every event in Sons of Anarchy, you can pretend to blame Gemma and Clay, but let's be honest, JT fucking enabled it all.
Here, if he really wanted to, he could have left the club and took Jax to Ireland.
Could have,
Fresh start.
Sam Bell.
Oh, I was thinking more just for Maureen Ashby. But wonder if Jax phoned his sister.
Maureen Ashby. They live above the fucking Sam Bell Club.
Maybe not Ireland, and that's a bad example. Stranraer. Maybe could have went to Stranraer. But I mean, if JT really
JT looks at his windy in 2010 and fucking Clay rocks up on the Stena line. We go up to Stranraer. JT perks his fucking head up like a dog. He hears the fucking treat ball getting fucking rattled.
But if JT really wanted a way out, he could have left the club and did a runner, couldn't you?
Maybe JT,
just like here. At least Tara attempted that, didn't she? She tried to get the boys out.
Maybe JT was playing chess, but we were all playing checkers. But you hear and get who won the Game of Thrones? Who won in Sons of Anarchy? Right? Who won?
Nobody.
Yeah, so nobody won. I mean, people go, "Oh, Chibs won. He's I'm not going to say, but in terms of like who won the power struggle out of like the Teller Morrow family,
For all we know, Chibs is dead. He didn't even show up to get revenge for Happy. So I mean, Chibs could be dead for all we know.
could be fucking Quinn running things. No, but if you were to pick the definitive winner out the Teller Morrow family, like Jax, John, Gemma, Clay, who won? Like out of those four. Tara, name them. Fucking hit me. Who won?
Out of Tara,
Like, who came out best? Like Tara, Jax, John, Gemma, Clay. Like it's not. Oh, he died early. Or will we not really know until
Jax.
the sequel?
I mean, I would assume Jax because he thought he got the club in the direction he wanted it to go, and he thought he got his club out of there in a way. But I mean, even that you see Abel has the rings that Gemma gave him, and then when you look at the Mayans, it's almost like I never bought that. Seeing the Mayans when it's like, oh, the transition out of guns took a bit long. It's almost like Sam Crow went back on what Jax wanted because they liked the money. That's what I got.
Which for me proved his point of, well,
greed.
No, but also
That's not.
I need to cut ties with this. My sons can't know this because they'll never truly be legit.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Chibs is. I'm not saying Chibs doesn't care about Jax or anything like that, but
they need to survive.
At the end of the day, you could see a world where Chibs is like, you know what, I know Jax wanted to. What they could have voted it.
Yeah.
What? Jax.
No, you got better.
No, but Jax could be gone, right? 6 months, and maybe the people in Sam Crow could be weighing up the options and going, you know what, we actually don't think getting out of guns is a good. And then they could vote it, and it could be voted 43.
We can't bash Chibs too much. You want to know why? Season 2, Jax wants out of guns. Season 4 premiere, Jax is voting with fucking Clay to bring in the cartel and the drugs. You know what I mean? Albeit, yeah, it was to get him out, but we don't know why. We don't know why maybe Chibs wants it. Maybe he wants to return to fucking Easterhouse, who knows? But I'll tell you what, Jax says one last word to JT, and then he shoots at the cop. Come join the murder. Nero is driving. They go past the Norco sign. He looks in the back. Abel's looking at the ring. You got the ring? Well, I got the fucking farm and the ranch in Norco. Motherfucker. Doing his best Miguel Prado impersonation. But, there's obviously clear focus on Abel looking at the ring. There is the door. It's not slightly ajar. The door is wide open for a sequel, isn't it?
Oh, aye, it's there. It's there to be made. We just need someone to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, and when you hear, like, I mean, I haven't really heard Jimmy Smith speak too much, right? But see, when you hear, like, Tommy Flanagan and Kim Coates speak about Sons of Anarchy, they're clearly fond of it, right? And things like that. You could definitely... They would definitely do it. Absolutely. I think the reason why they were maybe hesitant to do the Mayans is because they want the sole focus. They were like bit part players in it. I think if you give them like, here, we're going to do 3 seasons of a sequel, I think they'd absolutely come back. No, I think so.
Yeah. Don't see why not.
And here, there's no stopping over it. I mean, I would like to see Charlie Hunnam come back for the sequel. Could he be Abel's Dark Passenger?
I mean, possibly, yeah. Could have Charlie Hunnam in it without him being
like
alive.
Sons never did flashbacks. They never did anything of the kind. But we've seen in Mayans that they did flashbacks, and doesn't need to be. I mean, you can change things up and all that good stuff. But yeah, we do get the ending montage. Like I said, Nero's in the car. We've got Patterson and Jarry. They're going across all the crime scenes, all the bodies. Marks, Borowski, Unser, Gemma. We also seen. I don't know if we've seen Juice get loaded up this episode. It might have been the last episode, but anyway, what a dead bodies. Then we see a car. We see a truck. It's Papa's goods truck, and it's being driven by Milo, whatever you want to call him, the guy for the shield. And it's on the side of the truck. It is Papa's goods. We see T.O. sitting, drinking whiskey with the rest of them. Tig's depressed. In Venus Van Damme's arms. Chibs is
holding
sitting
the gavel.
Holding the gavel, debating what to do with it. Should I focus back into guns? Should I give Quintez up to Packer instead of Jackie Boy? Probably. But Jax, he's riding it. He's debating. He's like, right, when's this truck coming round that corner, big man? And then the truck does come around the corner. Guns the engine, full throttle, releases it, puts his arms up in like an angel pose.
Bad CGI here, though. I mean, I'm not going to let it ruin the episode, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, they should have done better. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah, I think in 2014 you've got the capabilities to make
Like,
it
make
look
no
more
mistake
realistic
about it,
than that.
right? It's not the worst ever thing I've seen, but you would think for like the closing shot of the app. Do you not think it would have been genuinely better if we just heard like a crash and then his blood pour into the bread
Oh,
without the CGI?
could have done that.
Would you have preferred that?
Possibly.
Possibly, but that is it, guys. That is it.
It's all over for Sons.
Jax Teller's dead. Now, obviously, we don't see a body. There is no 100% confirmation. But we are to assume that Jax Teller is dead. That is the end. A lot of dead bodies. 92 episodes. Wrapped up. Right here, right now. That's Papa's Goods. And what you gain it before we go into our final monologue of
I'm
the
going
show.
to get a 10. I just think the last few episodes of Sons of Anarchy are really good. Reminds me a little bit of Dexter in season 2 and season 4, where like it saves the best for last in those seasons, and it's like the last like bulk of episodes. I think like the last 4 episodes of Dexter season 2 are phenomenal. Same with the last 4 episodes of Dexter season 4, and that's kind of similar to Sons. I think once they get done with a lot of the filler shite in the middle, and then once they begin to really start wrapping up the story in Sons of Anarchy, I think season 7 is top notch. But yeah, middle part just lets it down for me. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give you a 10 out of 10 as well. And in terms of Sons itself, I think, like you said, the mid part this season with the pastor's family, there was a few episodes in there that, here, by no means are they awful, right? But I think by Sons of Anarchy standards, they are a bit poor compared to the rest. And I think the only other part of the show that I would say similar, I think before they get to Belfast in season 3, would you agree? I do think there is a few of those episodes where it's like, it does take them a wee bit longer than you might want.
Yeah, personally, I would have preferred if they got to Belfast a couple of episodes earlier and gave us a couple more Belfast episodes. I thought that would have been better.
But saying that, I think I'll stand, but I think across 92 episodes, Sons is the best TV show in terms of consistency.
Yeah, it's dead. No,
Like,
it's up there.
I mean, it is my favourite show, but I would say there's probably other shows out there that has got more peaks potentially. But there's shows out there that's got way more follies.
Yeah, consistently, man. There's not. I mean, I don't think there's a bad episode of Sons of Anarchy.
No, absolutely not. Like, I think the weakest episode is probably a 6 out of 10, and there's not many of them. You know what I mean? And I think when you get a show where the worst episode is a 6 out of 10, you're destined for greatness. And I mean, where does it compare to Breaking Bad? But like, as much as I love Breaking Bad, I think in Breaking Bad there's blocks of episodes that are slow.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, probably way worse than the 6 out of 10. So, I mean, the Fly. I mean, as much as I don't mind the Fly episode, like, it is fucking. You want to talk about filler? The Fly is a fly at the end of the day. But any other closing thoughts?
Nah, sad to see it go. Happy with Reviewed Sons, complete full season 1 to 7 on the channel. But yeah, we won't be watching it going forward, which kind of sucks. However, we are at the end, so I think we will be doing
all our lists.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of lists that we need to redo, and since we've done this, plus I think there has to be a big ranking every character.
Yep.
And that will take a lot of time, and we'll rank everybody who is worth ranking, essentially. That could be a long one. Could maybe get like 200, 250 names on that bad boy. And looking forward to that, and that's pretty much it.
And I think when we finish this block, I mean, I've already watched The Sopranos, but I think we need to do a list like ranking all the TV shows that we've watched, because it's not been done on the channel, and I think it needs to be done.
Yeah, I think we've got to the point where there would only be completed shows.
Aye.
That would probably be the fairest way to do it, which therefore wouldn't give us that many.
Yeah, I mean, we could wait for Dexter will be finished by this summer, guys. Is anyone wondering what the season 5 reviews are? They're
coming back Monday. Monday.
Monday.
They'll be here.
Monday. What's Monday? Wait, Morrow Mondays. What's a Dexter Monday called?
Morgan Monday.
Morgan Monday. What's a T called?
Is
there any killers beginning with T? Trinity Tuesdays. What about W's?
Right, that's plenty.
That's plenty. That's plenty, big man. Anyway.
Surprise motherfucker Sundays.
What's Saturdays then?
I don't know, man. Jesus Christ. Miguel Mondays?
I probably did that.
No, true. I don't know.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Sons of Anarchy wrapped up. 10 out of 10. I don't know what the average rating for season 7 would be, but I would give it a 9. I think it's a perfect wrap up, man.
You give season 7 to 9?
I would give it a 9, yeah.
I think a 9's fair. But I'd give it a 10 if it wasn't for a lot of the stuff in the middle.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't. In terms of the actual Sun story, I think it was perfect. I couldn't honestly see the last 4 episodes. I don't think it could be written any better. I don't think there could be any tweaks I would make.
No.
Not one. It's all right turning around and saying, well, I mean, I did say in last episode, what if Unser didn't find out until he had Gemma at gunpoint in Nate's house? I think that would have been fun. Unser not finding out until 10 seconds before his death. I think that would have been maybe the absolute icing, the cherry on the cake, but it is what it is. We'll leave it there. That's it for Papa's Goods. 92 reviews. All done and dusted, folks. Leave your thoughts down below. 10 out of 10. Peace.